National University is a primarily online private university based in California. It enrolls around 45,000 students currently and targets adult learners who are returning to higher education, as well as veterans and active military members. Well, National first piqued our interest because it was one of only 31 colleges that scored an A+ on our annual college financial grades list, and it was the only one of those that we'd never heard of before. So after doing some research and talking to the leadership there, we found that National, which is a nonprofit university, actually follows a really similar business model to for-profit colleges, which really contributed to their financial success.
I think what we do at National, and a lot of other good actors do in the nonprofit space in higher education, is put the student at the forefront of everything we do. And it's not that different than running a business where you put the customer first and what are the needs of the customer? What are the things that you need to do to make sure that their experience is an amazing experience, that it meets them where they are, and it actually fulfills the promise, that brand promise that you make to that customer. Well, that's the same thing in education. So what we do is we meet our students where they need to be met. As I mentioned before, many of our students are older students. They haven't been in school for a while, so they need a lot of coaching, a lot of nudging, a lot of extra mentoring. I think our secret sauce is our faculty that are basically their sole main responsibility is teaching with the student and mentoring the student and making sure that the student have all the tools that they need to succeed. So it takes a lot of people to create a great environment for learning for our students.
Michael Cunningham is National University's Chancellor, and he also runs System Management Group, which is the business unit that runs National University, as well as National's sister colleges. He got his start in business in the printing industry when he opened Cunningham Graphics International, which is a company that printed analyst research reports. In the year 2000, he sold the company to Automatic Data Processing for $136 million, and he went back to school for his PhD and has worked in higher education ever since. Under Cunningham's leadership, National has grown from about 33,000 students to 45,000. He's also led their transition from a hybrid online in-person model to primarily online, which has really helped National out during the pandemic, since the university already had the digital learning infrastructure it needed to quickly pivot to online. Meanwhile, most colleges and universities were just creating or scaling up their digital offerings, and National already had it in place.
Impact without scale is good, but it's not great. What we want to do is have impact with scale. Number one, it creates so many more opportunities for students around the world, and it transforms society, because if you change one person's life, you change their life forever. If you change thousands of people's lives forever, you change society for the better forever. And unfortunately, there's a hard truth. The cost of acquisition, of student acquisition, is very expensive. So what we want to do, when we're doing right now, is creating an economy of scale so that we reduce the cost by growing the organization, so the cost to our students goes down. Our goal is to continually reduce pricing. This last year, we reduced our net tuition prices by over 20%.
Michael is an academic, but he's also a business leader, which has really helped him stay open to change and run National with a growth mindset. He's also not been afraid to make some controversial decisions either, including changing programs and cutting faculty, which is typically met with a lot of pushback, and not every leader can follow through on it.
If you think about it, we're experiencing a period of punctuated equilibrium. And basically what it means is when you have an equilibrium in any business or in any enterprise or society for that matter, and things are at steady state, and then something jolts that steady state and changes things, that creates a lot of hardship, but it also creates opportunity. So previously in my business, we were printing and then distributing. But with digital technology, we were able to distribute electronically first around the world and then print locally. So it sped up our response time from 4 days around the world to 1 day, and it brought the cost down by 25%. So what we're happening right now, if you think about it, the same digital paradigm shift is happening throughout society. And then on top of that, we had the pandemic. And then overnight, whole society was jolted. and people were working remotely, people were learning remotely, trying to figure it out. And we were in a position, because we've been doing it online for a long time, education online, we were one of the first movers into space. We were able to use that opportunity to expand our business, expand our footprint, and expand the value of our proposition to students, not only our existing students, but new entrants to the marketplace.